very actively banning the champions that I thought they would take out.
I was going to say, too, Tucson's Thresh is certainly something that they should be worried about, and now they've left everybody wondering at the last moment, will it be the Gnar ban? I think it should be. CJ didn't look ready to handle it last time. Have they done enough in just 1 week to do it today against IM? Maybe they think IM is a little bit softer of an opponent, but I don't know. Given the track record of CJ against Gnar, I would not take that chance no matter who the opponent was.
Yeah, well, it's going to be Lulu actually taken out, so Gnar will go through. I'm a bit surprised to see CJ banning the Lulu, even though Frozen has played it. Now, I'm not surprised that this Nidalee has been taken out, just because Ambition, while a new jungler, used to play tons of Nidalee in the mid lane, so he's going to have a good feel for the spears on that champion, the skill shots already. So even though she's been reworked since then, the skill shots really haven't changed that much. So might as well take that. It used to be a go-to champion for him. Also, Coco was always a major threat on Nidalee if they took her into the mid lane. Gnar will, of course, be that first pickup. No surprise from Incredible Miracle. CJ gets Rek'Sai. Now, will they go for a Jace comp again, or they probably will take Corki here?
You know, Jarvan wouldn't be a bad pickup as well either. You don't want to avoid the Narvin, of course, but CJ, you know, again, they just don't seem very worried about playing into it. And that would be a bit surprising. Do you think that would be a bit surprising to see Kalista picked up that early? I feel like it's a little early.
She's super strong right now. The thing is that Space has not performed on Kalista previously. Now, he has been going for that Infinity Edge build. We've seen that work in Korea, but Captain Jack preferring the Runaan's Hurricane build, which I think is a little bit better.
It seems safer, and it seems just generally more efficient, you know, more effective.
It's safer in lane. It is not safer in team fights because you do have to get more auto attacks off to actually deal damage.
Wow, and they are just going to go ahead and second pick that Kalista. So big jump in the priority for that champion today.
Yeah, this is more in line with what we've been seeing in NA and EU on 5.2.
You know, this does allow the Jarvan and Janna possible pickups for IM. What do you think?
I think that would be very strong right now. Take away the Janna from the Kalista, but we could see Cassiopeia. Now, that has been traditionally banned against Frozen, does slip through the cracks.
That's right.
This time around, but the Ahri is probably going to be the grab here. Definitely a very strong champion in 5.2.
Yep.
He think they really should take that Ahri. We've seen it first picked in other regions, and rightfully so. Very few lane counters to this champion right now. She does have a lot of mobility with the changes to her Orb of Deception. So strong all around.
Well, Nunu Lux. I don't think we're watching LPL, so that'll probably be changed. There we go.
EDG, is that you? Oh, I'm very
Corki.
surprised to see the Corki taken.
They must not be planning on picking up the Janna at all, I would imagine then? Or, you know, why would you grab the Corki when the Janna was available unless you weren't planning on taking it?
Well, they may...
It's a bit surprising.
They may just... Looks like they want to see one of the complete lanes, either mid or most likely the support champion, before they actually commit to anything further here. I think IM Frozen really wants to play that Cassiopeia. He is known for his Cassiopeia play in solo queue, and we've seen it banned against him over and over and over so far in this league.
I was going to say, in the last few weeks, it pretty much has been banned out against him 100% of the time.
It has been banned out 100% of the time against him. This is the first time we're seeing it. Now, there were some nerfs to Cassiopeia in this patch, some mana nerfs, but it's I don't think that's going to slow Frozen down very much. And there's the Rumble. CJ does like to blind pick that Rumble, or pick it into the Gnar, which is the case here. Now, that hasn't worked out for Shy very well previously.
Final two picks over to IM now. Janna not going to be available. Thresh taken away, so are we maybe going to see an Annie here, possibly? I would not be surprised. Nami is a safe pickup, but I don't know. For some reason, I've got this like gut feeling that we could see an Annie.
Yeah, the thing is, you miss your Tibbers in the late game if she dodges. I think that's a bit risky. I'd go for something more peel-oriented to zone out the Kalista. Nami would be working quite well for you.
Also wondering about that mid laner.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's almost certainly going to be Cassiopeia. This is the chance. We've been waiting to see Frozen on this champion. We've heard about his Victor, we've heard about his Cassiopeia from solo queue, but we haven't really seen it ever in professional play. Going for the Leona.
Yeah, I like that.
Azir. Safer.
Yeah.
That's a shame, though.
Get a lot of poking with that Azir, too, when people are locked up with Gnar, Jarvan, and Leona. Jeez.
Kassadin in the mid lane. Good. It's probably going to be Kassadin. It's a good response to the Azir. You can actually trade very effectively with him early. It is one of Coco's best champions. Plus, you can get over the Emperor's Divide in the late game in order to assassinate the Azir. So that's going to work quite well for him, I think. And so we will see Frozen playing that Azir. And we've got some good hard engage, too, with the Leona. And a bit safer, I would say, especially against the Kalista, because you could just walk up to her and Q her. You're able to get in range, or at the very least, just zone her out with your W.
Yeah, I think it should be pretty effective.
Plus, you have the Corki Leona lane. They need something strong in order to deal with the likes of Kalista and Janna together. Yeah. So that's going to provide some nice kill pressure early if they end up in the 2v2.
Oh man, so much pressure on both of these teams right now, and so much individual pressure on CJ specifically. I think Shy trying to finally perform on that Rumble against Gnar Space, trying to have a better game with Kalista than he's been able to in the past. He's probably played it more than anyone else, but yet has probably played it the least effectively of anyone we've seen so far too.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've had some pretty. OQ was not great on that champion either, but that was really. Space has played it twice. OQ has played it once. Captain Jack has played it twice so far, and Captain Jack by far our best performer on the Kalista to date.
Yeah. And CJ really needs this win. Of course, so does I am. So, time to get in the game, see who takes it. It's time for game number 1, guys. And here we go. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Incredible Miracle versus CJ Entus. The rabid fan bases for both organizations here in Force today. And CJ and I really do have some of the most, we'll say, passionate fans here in Korea.
They've been in League of Legends for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
Each, so a lot of time to develop their fan bases. And we do see standard fan start so far.
Yeah.
From both teams.
Well, Ambition is
twitching silently.
I would say he's stepping up, but can he step up to the river? No, not really any streets in Summoner's Rift, is there?
No.
Yeah. Oh well.
Just paths, trails through the forest.
True enough. Have you ever seen Step It Up to the Streets, Monte Cristo?
I have not.
Well, you are missing out. They dance in the rain at the end.
I do not believe you.
No, they really do. They really do dance in the rain.
Okay, I believe that part. I do not believe that I am, in fact, missing out.
You've been very mistrustful of me lately. You didn't believe me that Scion's jaw was the crown of Jarvan the First? I had to prove that one to you? Wow. Just trust me, man.
I can't do that. I know what happens. I just get trolled on broadcast.
Monty trusts no one. It's a sad, isolated life.
Oh, look at this.
Of the Monte Cristo.
You mean it's a glorious, solitary existence without trolling? I agree. All right, well, going to start doing Krugs.
Yeah, take the little Krug.
Right here, and it's a good idea. They're actually going to take both of them right there. We haven't seen this in a while, but they really want that level 2 advantage, and who can blame them? I mean, having the lane push forward to them and then getting these Krugs will give them that little bit of an edge, and they'll be able to all in at level 2 or 3 under these circumstances. Tucson.
He didn't quite hit level 2 from that, but he will off his first creep, though.
Right there.
And immediately going in, there's a stun onto Space. A lot of damage. Can they get any summoners here? Space trying to hop away, and they can't get any summoners. Ignite used by Tucson.
Yeah, really good start right there from Incredible Miracle. So what they did was they gave the majority of the experience over to Tucson so he could get his E and his Q right at level 2, and then they get onto Space immediately. And why getting onto him is important? He only has that one potion, so they catch the right member. And now, look how far back CJ has to play. This is a great situation. Really clever opening move from Incredible Miracle to get an advantage in the laning phase.
Yep, and also something that's actually pretty easy to take to your duo queue or solo queue games too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, write that one down.
Leona Corki. It's a good way to start being quite lane dominant early on.
Yeah.
And, nice little trick right there. So we'll see if they can carry it through. Obviously, Space is healing back up at this point, and a Summoner is down for Incredible Miracle, so they have to make it worth a little bit more than it has been already. See how much CS they can deny. A nice poke there with the Phosphorus Bomb.
It's been a little while since I think I've seen both supports going with Ignite. I am Wisdom. Young.
All right. So Wisdom
Let's carry.
coming back into the jungle right now. As the Trailblazer, Ambition, the Stalker's Blade. We'll see them a little bit more jungling for the moment, but Wisdom is probably going to be looking for a gank on this bottom side. Either that or Tucson's going to want to make a move somewhere else on the map, maybe into the mid lane so they can start shutting down this Castanet early on.
Well, you talk about your roaming ganking supports. Leona is pretty much at the top of the list these days, so I would not be surprised to see, like you said, Tucson Wisdom joining up soon to go and do that.
Yeah, we've seen a lot more Leona recently, particularly over in Europe.
Yeah. Very
popular support pick right there. Like you're saying, great for that roaming. Very strong with certain champions like Corki in the laning phase.
Mm-hmm. So. That said, Space has been able to keep up more or less in CS. Able to bounce back a little bit.
Wisdom's found both wards, unfortunately for him. Smart of CJ, however. They know what the game plan is from Incredible Miracle. This is the lane they want to put the pressure on.
Yeah.
They're not going to find that opportunity. Wisdom won't back out. Lots of time still left on these wards. CJ Entus, Space and Mad Life really timing that well.
Yeah, Wisdom finally moving back into his jungle, going to go for the Krugs instead. Knew he wasn't going to get a chance to go after anything there.
Coco being bullied early by this Azir. You can see Double Doran's rings coming in for Frozen, so he's really trying to maximize his advantage in lane.
Yep.
See if that Doran's ring will pay for itself when compared to the gold of Coco with enough of a CS edge. Back right now.
Yeah, Frozen getting that little CS lead that we generally kind of expect to see.
Lilac falling a bit behind. Bit of a surprise so far.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is one of the few times you've seen Shy be able to kind of win this matchup early on.
See how it goes from here on out. But yeah, Shy seems to be playing it pretty well so far. We haven't had really a look into the top side to see what's going on. Of course, Rumble was pushing early on.
Lilac, though, I don't think anything's going to get... Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Let's see. Gank attempt coming in here from Ambition. I was going to say, I don't think anything's going to get as bad as his series against Duke was, where he just got 1v1'd in lane over and over again. But we'll see if this gank from CJ ends up working out. Looks like it's not. Ambition already going back down the river.
Yeah, really hard to gank the Snar, even if you come through the wall behind him, because
it bounces
the
off
hop
you.
Makes it a relatively simple matter to escape that situation.
Pretty much. Still, in the bot lane, more trading going on, but things have more or less stabilized.
Yeah, so nice little attempts at level 2 right there, but IM doesn't gain a whole lot from it when all is said and done. Tucson's Ignite back up, but they didn't manage to force CJ out of lane, and now just through Doran's Blade and passive heal, Space has managed to get all the way back up to 100% HP, as well as having level 5 advantage for a split second before Sunstar hits that marker.
Yeah, they're pushing up the lane so that Ambition can come in and try for a lane gank. Looks like Tucson's going to go in, though, but Ambition's right there. They might have spotted him. Doesn't look like IM's going back, though. Sunstar gets knocked up despite the Valkyrie. They get a bit of poking off onto him. But overall, CJ needs to retreat there. Here comes Wisdom. Teleport coming down, though, for CJ. Teleport coming in for IM as well. Wisdom comes in, tries to make something happen. Gets knocked up. A first blood, though, for Space after a big Gnar ultimate from Lilac. CJ still manages to come out on top somehow. Ambition lives, goes back into lane, though, and gives Gnar the double kill. Frozen, meanwhile, zones out Coco in the river. Well, that worked out pretty well for IM in the end.
Yeah, lots of mass teleports coming in.
Yeah.
And wow, what unfortunate timing for CJ that the Gnar was in the large form right then and set up that beautiful ult along the wall. Sunstar helping out with damage, but Lilac picking up a double is absolutely massive.
Yeah, Space got the first blood, and that seemed like it was great, but then things just going way downhill from there. Tucson missing his knee there.
Right,
See?
some missed skill shots, but then another knockup on Mad Life. Actually, that was really good. They missed 2 knockups coming in, so CJ team fighting well at the beginning. Ambition tries to get out with the E, but there is Frozen in the river, so he has to double back and go out the other way rather than give Azir the kill. Decides to give it to Gnar, a little bit safer.
Mad Life's whirlwind in that fight was
really
so great.
Good. Yeah.
Knocked up Wisdom main or mid QE combo.
Right, and after Tucson missing his skill shot right there, I think it's lucky for CJ that didn't go worse than it did, because had both of those abilities hit, it would have been a very different team fight.
I agree. You know, as it was, it still went well for IM, but that could have potentially been like, 4 for 1 or 3 for 1.
Yeah, fortunately for Shy, he did get an assist, and he does have that CS advantage, so the goal differential not going to be as devastating as it could be otherwise.
Yep.
Especially when we look at how close this game is so far. Everything's still just about even in spite of that space. We'll be going for, well, it's hard to tell. He could just build the Vamp Scepter for lane and then go for Infinity Edge. I doubt he's going to go for the Bloodthirster first. Bloodthirster first would make it quite difficult to output damage in the mid game, and that would make Corki's power spike even bigger compared to Kallista's.
Yeah, I mean, with the Bloodthirster first, you're like quote unquote safe, but you do no damage, so you're just really not able to contribute to team fights. It doesn't matter if you die or not. You might as well not even be there.
Right, and you still can't clear the waves very quickly as well without the Hurricane, and I'd be worried about that, considering that the siege come the Corki Trinity Force is going to be pretty intense, especially with an Azir in this game, so that may present a few difficulties right there.
I mean, like you said, he could still pick up Runen's Hurricane, could still go for that IE, but whatever he goes for is going to be delayed quite a bit now.
I want to point out again, take a look at IM's vision. They always have such great vision coming in.
Yeah.
After their first recall or two, and we see those deep wards up on the top side. They really keep a lot of control. 3 pink wards on the map already, compared to just like 1 from CJ Entus. So this has been a really good strength of Incredible Miracles so far this season. And it seems like every passing match, we see them use the information that they acquire to a better and better degree.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll be quite happy with knowing where Ambition is up in this topside jungle. Allows Lilac to press his advantage a little bit harder. He knows when he can play a little bit more of a risky style.
Yeah. I've always liked that they've been, focusing on warding like that too, because even though they weren't really able to use that so much early on, it's still something where you can go back, watch the VODs later as a team and be like, all right, look, because we have the position, we can see where the team is moving and we can sort of educate ourselves better for the next match.
Yep. Trading right there. Coco doing some work against Frozen right now, catching right back up in terms of farm. Wisdom waiting in the river. Tucson has gone on a roaming mission. Sonstar playing a little bit too aggressively. Here comes Tucson right into the mid lane.
Yeah.
Frozen will find a pink ward right there. And that'll prompt Mad Life to motion up the river.
Doesn't need to.
Tucson's still there while Coco needs to be very careful.
Oh boy, action on the top lane. There's a Cataclysm. Shy drops the Equalizer. Wisdom taking a lot of damage. Lilac can't quite get in time. Oh, Ambition coming in too. And this is going to be a kill, maybe 2 for CJ. Solar Flare comes down. Can Tucson save him? There's a stun. Lilac manages to get the kill on Shy because of some help from Tucson. And here comes Frozen Ambition on the run. Will he make it out though? Maybe. No, there's a flash from Tucson. And there's a nice bloodthirsty move. Flashing for the kill, man. I love it.
You have to be so careful when fighting on the map against IM, because it seems like Tucson and Wisdom are always around in these little bitty skirmishes, and they knew that there was no Leona in the bottom side of the map, and Mad Life a little bit punished for that one, not trying to track Tucson as much as he could, and you have to be very careful because that Leona will make big plays. The Rek'Sai ultimate, but
very true.
Right there next to the dragon. They want to press this advantage. They know Gnar is back at base. Let's take a look at this again as there we go. We see a good equalizer going down. Lilac patiently waiting on the side of it. Shy does manage to pick up the kill, but then nice turnaround. Hexdrinker going to absorb all of that Flame Spitter damage, and then they're able to get the Sunlight procs. And that's Lilac with 3 kills and an assist already this game.
And Tucson has just been so good on this Leona too. being everywhere he needs to be, making the right plays right from the very beginning with that level 2.
Well, you really have to give credit to Tucson because he has been the primary playmaker on this incredible Miracle team. Him and Wisdom have both been doing really, really well over the past few weeks.
Shy, no summoners. He's only got teleport, really. That is going to be a solo kill for Lilac. And that's got to feel good. He's like, finally, I know what it feels like to be on the other end.
And that looked a lot like what Duke was doing to him in the reverse matchup when Lilac was trying to play rogue. There's Lilac having a laugh on this screen. Wow.
He's like, oh, wow, it really is easy.
Well, that's a mistake by Shy. Shy knew he didn't have that flash up. He knew that Lilac had gotten the red buff during their previous skirmish right there, and a little bit uncautious play from Shy, extending too far down the lane, and Lilac able to spam those boomerangs and just slowly follow up that kill.
Oh man, in space, he did go for that Bloodthirster first, so he's just not going to be able to really handle this Trinity Force Sunstar. Frozen's got his Athenes. This is going to be a rough mid-game for CJ.
It's even worse than that, Doa, because now the question becomes, who the hell is going to kill this Gnar?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you need that physical damage. As we see CJ, they will take
teleport.
the dragon right there.
They will. And will IM get there in time? Solar Flare slowed some people, stunned some people. Lilac, though, not near Mega Gnar. Low health. Shy coming in with a lot of damage with that Equalizer. Just gets blown up, though. Sunstar claiming a kill with that D-Force. Frozen over the wall, and Mad Life activates the ult to try to keep people healed. There's a double kill, and Sunstar, can anyone stop him? And the answer is no, because nobody's got damage. And IM, they lose the dragon, but they turn that team fight around 7-2 in kills now.
That's right. And actually, Frozen played that fight really nicely.
Yeah.
Coming around the side, using that Azir mobility to get up onto the high ground and continuing to poke safely from a distance. Shy, poor teleport right now. Looks like Shy maybe tilting a little bit at the moment after that solo kill, because that was a very uncoordinated engage from CJ Entus, and Shy finding himself in a very awkward position, had to drop the Equalizer in a pretty suboptimal way.
Yeah.
And now we're heading right into Incredible Miracle's power spike with this composition where they will be able to siege. Lilac is going to put on a lot of split push pressure now.
You know, you add into this Coco, you know, going for that Rod of Aegis build too. That's going to be another way where Kassadin's damage is going to be lower than could have been otherwise.
This is a do or die moment for CJ. If they fall any further behind right now, they're in big trouble. Their composition and their itemization just doesn't have the damage until late game. Kallista's now not going to be big with the Bloodthirster first until the late game. We see Coco has to stack up that Rod of Aegis. Shy has been shut down. Luckily, he's still on Rumble and will be able to do some damage regardless, but Lilac's going to be putting pressure on the top side, and Corky, there's the tower going down in favor of Azir. So really, couldn't be going better. Now they can just move Azir into the side lane if they want. They've got a lot of options.
Yeah, indeed.
And there's the proxy farming coming in top side from Lilac there. I mean, IM's in a very dominant situation. They have deep wards down on both sides of the jungle. This is kind of a disaster. I'd be very surprised if CJ won the game at this point.
Yep, it's looking pretty grim. Now that the towers are going to start falling IM, this is going to be, now the challenge for IM is how can they close? They've gotten this great lead. They've taken advantage of what CJ's given them. But can they continue to do that? Can they close? Solar Flare goes down. They try to come in on space, but it's knocked up by Mad Life. Space in a lot of trouble, though. Sunstar balking in. There's the ultimate from Mad Life. Splash from Sunstar, and it's still going to be a kill. Tucson coming in if he can get one more stun on Mad Life, and he's going to go in with the EQ combo. He gets it. Sunstar with the double. Coco comes in.
Right
he gets caught in the Cataclysm. They do lose Tucson, but they may be able to pick up Kassadin. No. Not quite.
It's fine. Azir already there. Ambition finds himself under the turret. CJ.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
They're
by Ambition.
Well, can he take out Topstar?
Oh, not
Coco comes back for the return. They tried to zone him out with the Azir ult, but are they still going to lose this turret at the end of the day? Wisdom escaping with just a sliver of health, but Azir is going to knock this turret down, spawn some Sand Soldiers onto it, and take it out immediately. Lilac, in the meantime, takes out topside. So at the end of the day, it's 3 for 2 in favor of IM, but they also get 2 outer towers across the map. Just a total train wreck for CJ. very uncoordinated engage. And this is Mad Life in space, not respecting that kill pressure, especially with the Trinity Force versus the Bloodthirster. You're not going to win that duel, as we see Mad Life get caught out right here, and that's a death.
Yeah,
and
another
Space,
kill for Lilac. He's 502 right now.
Space did not have his ult right there to save Mad Life, and that's the advantage that these deep wards have had this entire game. IM just brutally pushing that ward line forward.
Yep.
CJ finally able to clear some of that out with some ping wards of their own, but it's a little too late right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Mad Life, this is the point where you start to really see the support dying a lot, because you have to take all these risks to get any sort of semblance of vision control back, even if in your own jungle. And you know you're walking into wards. Sometimes you just have to do it. Tucson on the run from Coco there, frozen over the wall. Coco has to ult back to escape. His flash is down, by the way, too. He had to burn it in that engagement in bottom lane a minute or two ago.
Frozen actually opting for the Athenes this game. Typically we see Merlonomicon into Stinger from most Azir players, but I think he wants that extra little bit of MR just to help deal with the Rumble and Casted damage that he is not really going to be able to avoid in the back line. Of course, the Equalizer, and then Casted could just pop right over his wall.
Yeah, certainly understandable.
I think that actually is a smart choice in this case.
Yep, Lilac looks pretty well itemized as well, too, now that he's got the Warden's Mail.
Wisdom also going for the fast Aegis this game. Makes sense against the double AP composition. Again, Space not really a damage threat. Coco
nice wall,
getting knocked around.
Yeah, push back. He only has his ult. He's going to use it now, but the Solar Flare was waiting. And despite the ult from Mad Life, that's going to be another kill, this time going on to Wisdom. And IM just continuing to dominate CJ here in game number 1. You know, we talked about it going into this. CJ has some big weaknesses. Have they solved them? As far as game 1 is concerned, absolutely not.
Well, and we saw the bans that I suspected coming in. You know, the Xerath and the Lulu, big problem champions, but IM has stepped up. They picked another playmaking support for Tucson where he can be that primary engage role that he serves. And I think what's so interesting about Incredible Miracle over the course of this season so far is that we see them start to define their roles a little bit more, where they do rely on Wisdom and Tucson for engage. They like to have Frozen on these long-range mages where he can play safely from the back line. Sawnstar's been playing nearly exclusively Sivir and Corki, these champions that can poke, that do have good siege, and they've been making it work, basically, with Wisdom and Tucson roaming from lane to lane, getting the engages off and starting to feed particularly Frozen, and Lilac with some good teleports this game, making it happen. So
now IM can take a pretty casual, unopposed Dragon, and that's their first of the game. Now moving in, again, you know, already have plenty of wards. They're pretty much the whole map is theirs. CJ owns like no real estate. It's like Monopoly, and all they've got is one of those cheap orange spaces. Oh, Coco gets solar flared, slowed but not stunned, and so IM going to have to back off of that one.
Yeah,
I guess it's more like the purple spaces. Those are like the real cheapest
really
ones.
Really cheap ones?
Yeah.
Frozen taking a lot of damage.
Frozen needs to be a bit careful. There's a knockup onto Tucson. Another knockup as a Whirlwind comes in, and they're going to have to sacrifice their support.
Bit sloppy right there. Tucson, they should have backed out. Tucson had no more mana. He had already burned his ultimate, so he needed to get out pretty quickly. We did see Frozen have to use his heal, and the locket as well popped in that engagement just to make sure everybody else could get out. But
pretty much. They
had the wards. Unfortunately, didn't respect the information that they had given, and CJ able to relieve pressure at least temporarily. They're still 7K gold behind, however.
Yeah, it's a pretty massive blowout so far by Incredible Miracle. Looks like CJ might be able to take this bottom turret.
I don't even know what Space is building. He finally has some crit with the Zeal, but I guess he's going... He must...
Static Shiv, or he's Phantom Dancer. It must be, I guess.
I don't even know, Noah. I think this build is really bad.
Yeah, it is.
I can understand Vamp Scepter into Infinity Edge or Vamp into Hurricane, but I really don't think that Bloodthirster versus a strong... And you also have to consider the circumstances, too. CJ, what do they have? They need to get this Cassidon into the late game. They could use Rumble for some pressure in team fights early, but really Space's job should be saying, hey, I'm going to outscale in the late game with this Kalista. In fact, this is a matchup that he played against Jin Air last week where he did very well in the early game as Corki, but then eventually Captain Jack just took over with the Hurricane damage.
Yeah.
So he should know that as long as he can get the wave clear by stacking Rend on the minion waves and survive until the late game, that he's going to have that advantage. Instead, we see this very damage light build from Kalista, and when you fall behind, that is just not going to do anything to this massive Gnar on the top side. Lilac is up 40 CS and is 5 kills. So I don't know how he plans to deal with the tankiness of this champion. I mean, Lilac can basically 1v5 CJ at this point with how little damage they have and the fact that he has an Aegis on his team as well.
Yeah, I mean, CJ likes to go for these late game comps, right? I mean, they've always been a team that sort of survived on their late game team fighting and map movements, but when you do this against a team that's known for being very good with vision, being very creative about their aggressive ganking, like it's kind of a big risk.
Well, it's not just that. It's CJ just doesn't seem to be thinking well tonight about what they're doing. Space will in fact be going for the Phantom Dancer just for the single target damage. He really needs it, but that's still not going to do a hell of a lot for their wave clear. And basically, CJ has no wave clear. They have what? 3 melee champions, a Janna and a Kalista who only has single target damage. So basically they have the equalizer to defend their turrets. That is not a place you want to be in.
Not so much, no.
So I think this is partially a poor draft from CJ, and then on top of that, poor itemization against what they're facing. If they had built Hurricane, it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah. Well, this wave would not be pushing up as hard as it was if Space had Rune's Hurricane. So, CJ trying to defend this tier 2 turret. Ambition making predator noises.
Like you do.
Like you do.
Well, with Sheen and with the Azir Q detonation on the tower, this turret can go down really fast. And there's no chance of a flank here either. Great wards from Incredible Miracle, bottom side. Now that's going to go.
Wow, easy turret. And the turrets are technically 5-1 because one of those for CJ was an Azir turret, a Distant Sun, so doesn't really count.
Yeah, I wish they would change that counter.
Me too.
So much.
Me too. Me too, Monte Cristo.
All right. Well, Tucson just gonna use his W onto Coco real quick. They are handing off CJ's blue buff over to Frozen, and bullying continuing. Frozen quite well so far on this Azir, and moving most likely into that Zhonya's Hourglass next for just even more safety in the back line should an equalizer get dropped on him and he find himself face-to-face with a Kassadin, an unfortunate circumstance for an Azir in general.
Well, I really like the Stinger pickup too. You know, it's not too expensive of an item. It gives you so much attack speed. It's a nice little thing to pick up for really any Azir.
Yeah, it's pretty core at this point. You're either going to go Athenes or Morellonomicon into Stinger and then not really build it in Ashers. I think it's just better to get the big AP off of the needlessly large rod at that point. You have enough attack speed. It's just adding a little bit more punch to each of those attacks.
Yep.
After you already heavily invest in the attack speed. All right, Dragon in 20.
Time to set up.
IM has deep wards, but they've got no immediate vision around the Dragon Pit right now, so see how if they take this. Coco looking for Sonstar, and Sonstar will Valk out a little bit scared.
I don't know if either one of them really wants to fight the other. That's a tough one to call.
Ooh.
I think Corki would take that one.
I don't know about this, though.
So?
We saw, I'm talking about Lilac's build, Maw of Malmortius.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little bit cocky when he could get some extra HP and finish that Randuin's a bit faster. I'm not sure if he really needs to have attack speed.
He's looking very confident right now. IM,
or
though.
the attack damage, rather.
IM is, Lilac, way in the back lines. He had snuck in there somehow, and they're going to try to go in onto Space here. Space doing a lot of damage to Tucson. Lilac going on to Ambition and getting a lot of damage done there as well. Frozen comes over the wall, so they force Ambition back. Is this enough for IM to take the Dragon? Shy still with Equalizer available.
Yeah, but Lilac just hit the Mega Gnar for him.
Yep.
They engage on this.
Easy Dragon. Oh boy, Shy smashed against the wall. Space trying to do damage. Azir wall goes through just to get some separation. Wisdom and Tucson pushed out. Mad Life barely escaping because of that Kalista ultimate. Space saving the day there. Coco, though, in a bit of trouble. Can he get over the wall with the ult? He can. Lilac coming in, though. Shy taking more damage over the wall. So CJ, they don't lose anyone, but they do lose the dragon, and they're going to lose a lot of pressure in this mid lane as well.
Well, they're going to, yeah.
Lose a turret, maybe.
They could lose topside tower right now, depending on how hard IM wants to push this. Looks like they will just split up and go back to farming for the immediate future, but Lilac just keeping that wave right where it is.
Yep.
That's actually went a lot better for CJ than I thought, considering that Lilac was in the mega form at that point in time. I think he actually used his ult a little bit too early, trying to get Shy right there. But there wasn't follow-up onto Shy. Had Shy been stunned and not been able to get his equalizer off, that would have been a different story. But he did, in fact, get the ability down.
Yeah. And
so it was a little bit less impactful than it could have been otherwise. So a little bit of a misplay, I think. Lilac pulling the trigger too early in that team fight. And now they're going to lose a tower, but Lilac is rushing down that mid lane right now. Tuzin will use this opportunity to get more wards into topside jungle, while Wisdom secures the crab for a little bit of... No, he's not going to actually get it. He just...
Oh, merciful Wisdom.
No, he wasn't so merciful. He changed his mind, though.
Oh, well.
It was all a brutal game with the crab.
I know.
Getting its hopes of staying alive up and then crushing them.
Wisdom going to clear out the ward in the Baron pit as well, too. And CJ, I am in Lilac, actually. Going back to try to get people. That is a really quickly dying Baron IM. Lilac trying to zone here. Can they get that Baron? CJ coming in. They'll drop the equalizer, and the Baron does indeed go to IM. And Lilac over the wall with a big ult, locking people up, and an easy team fight win for IM. They get the Baron. They might just get the game here, too. Nice play to take out Kalista, and Shy in big trouble now. Lilac comes over to try to get the Sun, but Wisdom locks him up in the Cataclysm. Coco running away, taking so much damage though. Zonia's, but it's only going to delay the inevitable. Goodbye, and a perfect ace after a perfect Baron for Incredible Miracle, and they are just going to rush this mid lane, it looks like.
Frozen had a great play in there, using his heal and his flash to reposition himself and push several members of CJ over.
Yep.
And now we have this slash lapping in front of the turret going on as they
that happens.
Begin their assault right there. Sansar going to take a little bit of damage. They're waiting for that minion wave, but we're still pretty early in this game, so they're not going to be able to get much. Maybe they can get this inhibitor because they have the Azir tower behind them, so it's actually much safer than it would normally be. But they are going to.
Why take the risk, you know?
Take a look at that again. Pretty desperate, actually, equalizer here from Shy. Doesn't really get it in a position where it's able to hit many people. And then we see Lilac transform to that Mega Gnar, get a really big, look at that follow-up stun too, just smashes Ambition. Stonstar, good positioning over the side. Now watch that. Azir comes in with his E, flashes over, and then pushes multiple members of CJ right back into the mix. And at the end, Frozen with some great Azir movement over the course of this team fight, really perfectly using the E to reposition himself alongside his flash, and that's a big part of the reason why Incredible Miracle was able to get that ace.
Shy caught again. Coco trying to take that blue. Another kill for IM, and Coco on the run. The blue's going to be taken by Wisdom, it looks like. Frozen may have gotten that one too. Not quite sure who it went to. They both got it, so it doesn't really matter. And Lilac still pushing up that top lane. Oh man, there's just nothing CJ can do against this Baron-powered Incredible Miracle. Now they're so far ahead in every way. 15,000 gold lead right now. One inhibitor down, they can easily rotate mid and take this other one out as well. Shy still 15 seconds till he's back in action. It's another easy inhibitor, and IM, man, talk about a team that's looking better every time we see them lately.
Well, I mean, it's another game where CJ loses to Gnar, too. I mean, I don't really even know what to say at this point. Shy definitely cannot handle being against a Gnar without the Mundo.
They have to ban it. No choice.
They don't play it. They don't ban it. They lost to Janair in the first game when Janair ran it. They banned it in game 2, but they lost that one anyway. So, CJ really having some champion pool issues right now. And I am making it work through some, I think, smart target bans from CJ. Trying to test their limits, see if they were a one-trick pony. But IM retained the same play style in this game that we saw in their last one, but they were able to do it with different champions, which is good to see.
Yeah.
Now, can they play other styles? It's a little bit of question, but for right now, they don't need to. I mean, at this point, they have taken dominating game wins off of both Janair and CJ. as I assume it'll be just a matter of minutes until Incredible Miracle closes this game out.
Yeah, it seems that way. It's going to be a pretty quick game. So let's make guesses. I'm going to guess 35-30. We'll see. Oh, Frozen coming. There's the equalizer. Ambition trying to make a play. Zero used to push a few people back. CJ gets chunked down pretty heavily, but I am losing some health as well. No minions means that turret does a bit of damage to Lilac. I am still keeping the pressure on.
Well, those super minions are getting dangerously close to the
They are.
Nexus right now, so CJ's going to lose this eventually.
A one-team fight, or a couple people going down, and IM has all the leeway they need to push ahead. That turret needs like one auto left. There, oh, Coco doing a bit of damage to Sansar, causing him to Valkyrie out.
Wow.
Space, whoa, taking a lot of damage, and the Solar Flare flashed away from. There goes the turret anyway, though. Coco taking, Coco getting grabbed. Zonius immediately. Tucson coming in, not quite able to land that stun.
Doesn't matter. Nexus
Nope,
turret's
really.
going down right now to these super minions.
Boy.
All IM has to do is patiently wait this one out.
Yeah.
Get a bit too low, so they will retreat, but
All right.
Nexus turret number 2 on the ropes. They can go back and do the dragon immediately.
All right. So maybe it'll be a little bit longer than my 35-30 prediction.
I don't know about that.
37-30, we'll say.
I don't know about that, though. I think we could see just one final push right here as soon as they go back and buy after they secure their 3rd dragon of the game. CJ holding on just by a thread right now.
Yeah, it's over. CJ is hanging from the edge of the building, and IM is gradually peeling their fingers back one by one.
That's the inefficient way to do it. You have to stomp, Doa.
I guess, but it's so much less dramatic, you know? That's why you have to kill every inhibitor, you know, just like step by step. They're losing their grip on the edge. It's true.
See if IM does that, or if they just go for the Nexus stomp right here.
Yep, it's true. And CJ doesn't have Captain Jack to swoop in with a jetpack and save them at the last moment anymore or something. I don't know why Captain Jack became the Rocketeer in my fantasy just there, but it's a good movie if you haven't seen it. It's great.
Well, I am cautious of their play, sweeping out the jungle. They want this 3rd inhibitor before they make another move. Wisdom needs wolves for some reason right now.
Yep. Sand Soldier poking that ward like his job depended on it, and it does. Oh. Protect the tunnel.
I mean, it is annoying to have these tunnels here because the engagements become a lot more deadly.
Not anymore. Oh, Coco trying to make a play. Sansar having to Valk out. Ambition not able to make a play. Ooh, Solar Flare misses. Flash in. Wisdom making a play. Jumping onto space. There's a dead 80 carry right there. Ambition in the back line's not able to make anything happen. Damage coming in across the board for Frozen. And this final push will indeed do it. I am taking apart CJ. There goes the 2nd Nexus. Will they make it an ace? Oh, they can't quite get Ambition. They will maybe get Coco here. He's on the run. He's like, forget this. I'm leaving. I'm going to go to a different map. Twisted Tree Line. Here I come. Oh, Wisdom. Support, or not support. 2nd support. Jungle versus mid. It doesn't matter. There it is. GG. And CJ destroyed in game number 1 by Incredible Miracle. I think it's time to ban the Gnar. I think they should ban the Gnar, Monty.
Or learn to play it. One of the two.
Well, it's a little bit too late to learn to play it today. I think they have to ban it. Maybe. Well, we've got 5-6 minutes in the commercial break, so I can play up against bots really quickly, maybe. Master the Gnar. I don't think it's going to happen.
Actually, looking at one of those earlier fights right here, looks like the equalizer went off the map.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, it may have been a bit of a misclick there from Shy, or take a look at that a little bit later. So that was when he teleported into the bottom lane the first time.